Harry and Meghan completely got their asses kicked. William can't control his anger towards Sussexes. Charles losing his grasp on the throne. Fears the Windsor dynasty will die along with the king. With the news that the Princess of Wales is battling cancer, the reaction from the American couple makes for some remarkable and very brief reading. Those are some of the main developments in today's video. Hello and a very warm welcome back to Kate Middleton and the Queen. So King Charles, some people are saying, is dying, and he's too weak to save the crumbling 1200-year-old British monarchy, which has been rocked to its core by a seemingly endless torrent of disease, scandal, family feuds, and an heir who may not be strong enough and may be too distracted to pull it out of this catastrophic tailspin. This is coming from high-placed palace sources who spoke with National Enquirer. So, of course, as always, we got to take this information with a big grain of salt. But according to a member of the royal inner circle, King Charles is much sicker than the palace lets on and simply isn't up to the job of running his fractious family, the crown's business interests, and fulfilling the daily duties of the monarchy. His cancer is eating him alive. He's very frail. The situation is desperate. And it is sad. Charles had to wait more than 7 decades to ascend the throne, only to see the monarchy spin completely out of control since his mother's passing in September of 2022. With Charles engaged in this battle against cancer, and some people are saying that it's pancreatic cancer, an exhausted 76-year-old Queen Camilla, who had filled in for her ailing husband on 13 separate occasions, jetted off to the Mediterranean for a little vacation. Meanwhile, Prince William, the 41-year-old heir to the throne, has had to cut back on his royal duties so that he can take care of Catherine and also deal with other issues. So when William backed out of a February memorial for King Constantine of Greece because of personal reasons, the family really had to scrape the very bottom of the royal barrel. They had to allow Prince Andrew to represent them. A palace courtier reveals behind the scenes Camilla is disgusted by the king's apparent weakness and is providing him little comfort as he battles his fatal cancer. By going on holiday, she was thumbing her nose at stepson William, who is incapable of shouldering the monarchy's burdens on his own. And of course, to some degree, Charles's siblings, Princess Anne and Prince Edward, and his lovely wife Sophie have tried their best to fill in some of the gaps, but obviously they're overwhelmed. It's a lot of work. Now, Anne has never been so close with Camilla, and supposedly now she's all upset about getting dumped with some of the vacationing queen's workload. Royal observers are claiming that the seeds of the monarchy's destruction were sown about 12 years ago with those efforts to streamline the number of family members who could officially represent the royals. And then those people were even further reduced when Charles's son Prince Harry met and married Meghan. The two of them, of course, went on to break up with the family and also tell a lot of hateful lies about the family. One observer notes the end result is where we are today. After nearly 2 months of rolling crises, the royal family looks threadbare, depleted, and wan. And whatever unity once upon a time they shared, it seems broken. The monarchy is in a shambles and has embraced a bunker mentality with royal family members all looking to ensure their own survival after the coming apocalypse, according to this courtier. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan are lurking in the shadows and appear to be savoring every humiliation heaped on the royal family. They are truly getting the last laugh, and word is they are waiting to deliver a killing blow. But what could be the biggest threat to the House of Windsor's survival right now is William and Catherine, according to some. They are young and they are normally healthy with 3 beautiful children, and once upon a time they were seen as the future of the monarchy, a future to be excited about. But according to some people, William is obsessed with Harry's betrayal. And Catherine, as you know, has these shocking medical problems. And we keep on hearing rumors there are problems in the marriage. I don't believe them, but still, most recently, there was that embarrassing family photo doctoring scandal. And that has really messed with their once perfect image. The courtier reports William is totally distracted by his wife Catherine's physical and emotional issues and the problems in their marriage. He also can't seem to control his fury over Harry and Meghan. And some sources are claiming that to cope with all this stress, William is drinking a bit too much. But his drinking, of course, is only adding to his problems with his wife. William has increased his drinking to relieve the added royal pressures and drown his rage over Harry and Meghan's attacks on the family. And that's put him on a collision course with his wife, according to another palace source. And so it all adds up to some difficult days for the British crown. There's a very real fear we're in the end times of the Windsor monarchy, says the first palace insider. The feeling is the firm won't survive Charles's death, and His Majesty has declared William unfit to be king. So, in other news, let's talk about the whole princess shebang. It really is surreal, isn't it? The tiaras, the castles, the palaces, the titles, all the bowing, the gold carriages, the commemorative stamps. And then comes a moment like what we saw recently, and we get a very shocking reminder that Catherine, the Princess of Wales, she is a princess, but she's still a real human being, and she is still subject to all the cruel twists of fate and the sorrows like the rest of us. It was such a crazy day. I still remember it when we woke up to find out that the Princess of Wales had been diagnosed with cancer and that she is going through preventative chemo. I mean, this announcement basically saw an immediate outpouring of warmth and compassion from everybody around the world leaders. The British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, the French President Emmanuel Macron, the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and of course, King Charles, Queen Camilla, the Archbishop of Canterbury, and even the White House. There are so many very powerful people, speech writers and aides, who have been busy fixing their cheerleading messages and dealing out a lot of supportive synonyms. But what about over in Montecito? Well, something else has been going on. About 2.5 hours after the news came out that Catherine had been diagnosed with cancer, on both the Prince and Princess of Wales' social media feeds and on the 6 o'clock p.m. BBC News, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle joined in with Macron and the rest, and they publicly sent Catherine well wishes. They said, "We wish health and healing for Catherine and the family, and hope they are able to do so in privately and in peace." And that was it. Now, maybe Harry and Meghan are not exactly close or even on speaking terms with Catherine and William, but still, let's remember they only released one single sentence as a statement, and that sentence didn't even include her title. And it said nothing about Catherine and William's three children, it said nothing about William. So maybe right now, Harry and Meghan are busy getting something nice for Catherine. Maybe they're going to send her some of Meghan's homemade jams. But, it wasn't enough. I mean, the point is they're family, and even after everything that has happened, they could have done better. As far as public statements go, this one was hardly impressive. I mean, one sentence, 22 words, pretty brief reading, huh? The world has responded to Catherine's cancer diagnosis with so many encouraging and reassuring words. Most people in the world, that is. And apparently, Harry and Meghan didn't know anything about Catherine's cancer diagnosis until it hit the headlines all around the world, according to sources who spoke with the New York Post. Reportedly, Harry and Meghan felt blindsided. They found out about Catherine's health struggle on the very day that the news broke to the rest of the world. An insider said they had no idea and only learned of the news around the same time the rest of the world found out. This goes to show the irreparable damage they have caused. The trust has been broken, and the royal family is okay distancing themselves from them. The slow motion breakup of the Waleses and the Sussexes has been played out for our consumption through TV interviews, a whole 6-hour Netflix docuseries, podcast, and even a book. For years now, Harry and Meghan have shared their feelings. What I find a little bit odd, though, is that in the past, Harry and Meghan were certainly never shy about sharing their feelings. So why now? Now, there is a lot of water under the royal bridge, sure, when it comes to William, Catherine, Harry, and Meghan, but still. Surely, something like a cancer diagnosis renders a lot of what came before redundant. Surely, this could be a moment of clarity and parking bygones for at least a little while. Surely, it is a moment for the family to come together. Meghan and Harry's response to Catherine's news stands in direct contrast to Harry's reaction in February after he learned that his father, King Charles, is also battling cancer. Within hours of Buckingham Palace revealing the news that His Majesty was undergoing treatment for an unspecified form of cancer, Harry was already on his way to London to visit his father. Now, that meeting only ended up lasting somewhere around 20 or 30 minutes. Harry had to fly 22 hours round trip, and he had to find a hotel in London to stay the night for himself and his bodyguards. And I'm sure that was very expensive. Or what about Saturday's 22-word Catherine statement? Let's contrast that with the 622-word one from Harry that he had his lawyer, David Sherburn, read out after Harry's win in the hacking case against the Mirror Group newspapers last December. That one was filled with very powerful language. Harry called out the paper's hollow sound bites, and it included stuff like the journey to justice can be a slow and painful one, or I've been told that slaying dragons will get you burned, and he also said the mission continues. So where is Dragon Slayer Harry today? For Catherine, the Sussexes and their team couldn't even get together a second sentence. Pathetic. So perhaps the Duke and Duchess of Hypocrisy are going to put something out later today. But they couldn't come up with something a little bit heavier and more substantial in the immediate aftermath of the Catherine news? Yeah, that doesn't make them look good. I mean, there are a couple of people who claim that they really care about everybody else. They're philanthropists, they're humanitarians, but their response to Catherine's video stands in stark relief. For instance, earlier this month, Harry and Meghan traveled to Uvalde, Texas, where 19 children and 2 teachers were murdered in a school shooting. And they were there to wish the sister of teacher Irma Garcia, who passed away, saving the little ones' lives, a happy birthday. And they brought her a cake. Now, that's a nice thing for Meghan and Harry to have done, and it makes it seem like maybe they're committed to helping others. Well, on the surface at least. So how are we going to reconcile this kind of gesture with their sparse selection of words for Catherine? So perhaps Harry and Meghan are going to have more to say on Catherine, or maybe they're planning on saying something else. Or maybe they're planning on getting her some really nice present. Maybe. And you, what do you think about this case? Let me know in the comments. If you think my video is useful, don't be afraid to like and share it with anybody else who would love it anytime you want. And please subscribe to our Kate Middleton and the Queen YouTube channel to not miss any new video in the future. Now, thank you for watching, goodbye, and I'll be back to see you in the next videos.